Alrighty, I'm going to be doing a demo of a network crawler that I built. First, we're just going to download it from GitHub. Alright, so I've just downloaded it from GitHub. What this will do is it will open up a database, go through all the devices that are in this ips.txt file, SSH to them, pull down tons of information, and stick it in a database, find anything that it's connected to, and do the same with them and repeat until basically it's found your entire network. First, we're going to be starting up a temporary MySQL database, completely empty. And let's take a quick look at some of these files of note. Alright, so if you want to update where the database is, you'll need to go into the dbwork folder file and take a look at these. These are the IP address of the MySQL server, username to get in, password to get in, database, the permanent database name, and the temporary database name. Because I wanted this to be able to be multi-threaded or run a whole bunch of containers at the same time, the temporary database is where it's pulling down IPs that it will need to get to later. So that's what that is. The permanent database is where it is storing data about the network itself. So let's go ahead and start this. First, we need to connect into that MySQL database. And create the two databases. You don't need to do anything else at this point. Just create them, and the network, the programs should take care of that, of building all the tables and everything we need. So let's go ahead and build those containers. So you can, I do still have those. Let me go ahead and get rid of those real quick so that I can show a fresh build. Okay. Okay, so nothing special as far as Docker containers. So let's go ahead and build those. And I will go ahead and walk you through these. So this is just building the the container that will build out all the tables and everything for the database. This one is the one that actually does the exploring the database and sticking everything into the it explores the network and stuffs it all into the database. And then this one will build files to out of the database. It'll build reports. I'll show you that in a minute. So these other two basically take no time at all. So we've built the images. Let's go ahead and build that database. and it connects in to the database and builds all the tables. It gives you the command that it's using to build the tables, just so that you can see what it's actually doing. So let's explore the network. So what it's doing is it's importing all the files from this ips.txt file into the to-do database. Then it's going through the to-do database and pulling out those IPs. In this case, it just happens that there's only one IP, which, as you can see, it's now SSHing to, and then it's running through a list of commands and pulling that data down, shoving it in the database, and pulling CDP information to find other devices to connect to. So you can see here that it's found another IP to connect to. This is the network that it is getting into. So, yep, it found .2. And because we have time, I will go ahead and show you this now. The file for report is the host names of the devices that we're going to want to run reports on. So we're going to get reports for R1, R2, and R3. And also, you'll probably want to update your username and password to get in. So there's just a function down here to get the username and password. In this case, it's just setting the username and password and returning it. But you can expand that out to make it more complex if you want to, or prompt you for your username and password, or something more secure. Alrighty, and it is working on the last one. Slowly. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring that up. Not that, that's the zip file. Alright, and now we're going to build those reports. So you can see here that the CDP data for R3 is connected to R2 and R4. R2 and R4. The local interface for the connection to R2 is 0. Fast Ethernet 00. Yep. So you can see here your CDP data, your inventory data. Notably, the serial number is not currently a unique key because I'm doing CDP a lot, GNS3 a lot, and that screws up the serial numbers. So if I had the serial number turned on as a unique key, it would just overwrite this repeatedly instead of making new ones. But for a production setup, you would want that to be a unique key. As for the IP interface brief, it will give you the localhost, the interface it has, the IP address, OSPF neighbor data. There's your show version data, and once again, this is another one of those weird things with GNS3. If you look in the actual config, that's right. It's just kind of weird. Subnets data. So it shows you what subnets are on each device along with the network mask. Yep. And please note these are not the IPs, these are the actual subnets. And then I have stuck the running config in there. But your report writers are really going to love this because they have just so much data that they can pull out from something that is easily accessible. So yep. So if you wanted to, you could search for all the devices that have this iOS, or all the devices that have this particular subnet, etc. I think this will be really useful, and because this is in a database and not being pulled off live data, it's not reliant on the device being up. So if a device goes down, you just say, hey database, give me this report, and it just gives it immediately, and it doesn't matter if the device is up. Yep, that's pretty much it. Thank you. Bye.